about kind of what project management is, how to do it, and by the night you'll be an expert, right?
If you're not, you're fired.
And then we're going to talk about the Christmas program, because part of the responsibilities of TLS is to help out with the Christmas program. And as you might or might not know, there are a lot of pieces, and a lot of pieces that have to come together. So Deb's going to walk through that with us. So before we worship, is there anybody who would be willing to lead us in prayer? Sergio, could you lead us in prayer? Yes, you may. Here.
Hey, I just want to tell you, I just want to get you more and more excited about TLS, because I don't think you guys understand the gift of what's going on in this room and the foundation it's building. We've had teams go to Honduras now and to Brazil, and I had conversations with people around the world that don't have this in their, and they wanted more information. They wanted to know what was going on, why we were doing it. And when we could tell them about the fruit that was being born from it, they were in awe and they wanted more information. And so you guys are getting equipped in such amazing ways, whether it's true like leadership principles and how to apply things, but also the spiritual formation process. We were at Pastor Deb and I and Shauna and Pastor Nathan were at a Carrie Newhoff conference last month. Is that right? Last month. I can tell you from the round table I was at, there were people there from all around the country with very large churches that do not have this in place, and were asking us a million questions, weren't they, Deb? And so get excited about what you're doing. You may feel like it's a workload, that you're like, I'm not sure why I'm doing this. I'm telling you, this class, what you're learning, both in spiritual formation and leadership skills, is setting a foundation for you that there is a plethora of people out there begging for that don't have. So I just want to bless you with that and get fired up, because the Lord's got you here for a reason, and he's doing something. So I'm excited for you.
Heavenly Father, I just want to come in and be thankful for the day you've woke us up today and bless us with. Open our hearts, open our minds, Lord, for you. Just let us sink in this leadership that we need in us, and help us to every day utilize it in our walk with you, Lord. Push us closer to our calling, and just always protect us, Heavenly Father. I pray this in your name. Amen.
All right, let's worship.
In the darkness, we were waiting, without hope, without light, till from heaven you came running. There was mercy in your eyes, to fulfill the law and prophets. To a virgin came the word, from a throne of endless glory to a cradle in the dirt. Praise the Father, praise the Son, praise the Spirit, three in one. God of glory, majesty, praise forever to the King of Kings. To reveal the kingdom coming, and to reconcile the lost, to redeem the whole creation. You did not despise the cross, for even in your suffering you saw to the other side, knowing this was our salvation. Jesus, for our sake you died. Praise the Father. that stone was moved for good, for the Lamb had conquered death, and the dead rose from their tombs, and the angels stood in awe, for the souls of all who'd come to the Father are restored, and the church of Christ was born. Then the Spirit lit the flame. Now this gospel truth of old shall not kneel, shall not faint. By His blood and in His name, in His freedom I am free. For the love of Jesus Christ, who has resurrected me. Oh, praise the Father, praise the Son, praise the Spirit, three in one. God of glory, majesty, praise forever to the King of Kings. Praise forever to the King of Kings.
Father, we just praise you. We thank you for everybody here. We thank you for what we will learn tonight. And we just pray that you will pour your Spirit on us and give us relaxation and help those who are tired be refreshed and help us walk away tonight better than we walked in. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right. You are up.
You know what? I am standing up. So I'm already up. Yes, ma'am. Turn your journals in. Oh, that doesn't work. Are we ready? So tonight for project management is entirely more than anyone can probably understand, unless you're married to me. What is project management? Can anybody give me like their explanation of what project management is? Yeah, but what is that? Can you? I get why they tell us to use the thing now. I can't hear you. And I'm deaf. So what is it?
All I said was you're the calendar for the whole operation. Like you're everything.
Yep. You are ahead of everybody and everything. Okay? It's, if you just quickly Google it, it's processes, methods, knowledge, experience, the archive of specific things that you've done in the past that have worked. So, I mean, project management can go from giant construction projects that I'm used to working on to something as small as, all right, well, how am I going to get the kids together and get them to church on time because my husband's in Honduras? How is that going to happen? What am I going to do? How am I going to achieve that? When do we have to leave by? Things like that. Okay, now what's the route that we're going to go? So that even all the way down to just coming to church is project management. I'm sure, Sharon, you're getting ready to have a baby. You guys have probably thought about, okay, so from this time to this time, we have to be ready for this, for, whatever it is. You know that you're going to, for the knowledge base, you're going to go to the doctor. You're not going to go to, Susie next door. I mean, you might, but I doubt it. So the first two things is, what can project management range from? It can range from, again, big, massive, multi-million-dollar or multi-billion-dollar construction projects, all the way down to church functions, which is more or less what we're going to get into later tonight. So church functions could be something as simple as the tribe draft day. The amount of back-end stuff that you guys didn't see, all you saw were some tables parked outside, why can't I think of it? Baptism trough and all of that. It just kind of like, could you throw that together in the morning? Yes, you 100% could. But who's going to be the one that's going to getting the tables? Who's going to be the one that's going to come the day before, fill up the trough for the baptisms? Who's going to be the person that helps tear down? Who's going to be the person that if we have to rent anything, who's going to go get that? And how are they going to pay for it? Is it going to be paid for out of their pocket, or are they going to get the credit card from the church and use it that way? So there's a lot of processes that even for something that small goes into. It's unbelievably, it's more than I think you can fathom. But as for me personally, managing the things that I manage at work professionally, it's come down to me over the years that I've done it to Proverbs 6:13, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and he will establish your plans. Because without these plans, and there are just days I'm just like, it didn't happen in today, nope. And I'll have to pray about it, just be like, just point me in the direction that I need to work, because I just see a list. And by having that prayer and giving everything that you do up to him, he will establish those plans and he will establish those steps. Just like all of the things that you guys did for Honduras, I will guarantee you that was planned, prayed over, planned some more, prayed over some more, and then y'all went and executed. So, that was also two of those things for the next two empty ones, was guide us and not our own. Oh, I thought I did read it. I'm sorry. We do not commit to what we do, why do we commit what we do to the Lord? So he can guide us in his way and not our own. Because I recently tried to run a project without consulting him, and that failed miserably. I got overworked. Not that I'm not already overworked, but I was overworked more than I normally should have been, and I prayed about it. The next thing came up, and I slammed that thing out, and it was actually twice the size. And it was severely more complex. Working with other trades, working with people on the East Coast that all I see is their picture in teams. So when we commit our plans to him, he's going to guide them in the way that's going to not only benefit us, but it's going to benefit what we do as a whole, and then the people that we come into contact with. So, what's that? Yeah. So, I mean, there's a guy that I work with pretty regularly that I got to, for an hour of time today, I got to sit down and just talk to him about God. Would I have had that ability to do that had I not prayed over something that I have been working on? Probably not. But I was given that opportunity. So, ROI. Who knows what ROI is? What? Very good. What are the two types? There's more than one. Yes. But So the first one is going to be a kingdom ROI. So when we work on projects, whether it's for just the church or it's a mission trip, these are all things that are a kingdom ROI. So what did you guys do in Honduras that benefited God's kingdom? Evangelize. Pete? Minister? Who else went? Do what? Served? Okay. So doing those things are a kingdom ROI. And I will tell you that that is something hard to focus on when you're doing project management. When you're sitting down, you're crunching numbers, you're trying to figure out, okay, where we're at in the budget, where can we save money, where we may be spending a little too much money, but where's the threshold for that? But at the end of the day, the kingdom ROI is something that we always need to, for church events, and even just a normal event, like if Pete's out, roughing in, electric in, I don't know, fish camp at TJ, or no, not TJ's, but Tia's. What is that kingdom ROI that he's going to get from that? So that kingdom ROI isn't just, it's two things, actually. It's kind of a twofold. So it's the relationship that I have between us and you and I, but then it's also the relationship that I have vertical. So it's you and I and him, which ironically makes the cross, if you think that's funny at all. So, but that's the next one, the relationship between you and I and the glory for his kingdom. Because at the end of the day, when we have events here at church, you don't know who's walking in who just had that bad day or the bad week, or somebody cut them off in Whataburger and they just aren't having it. Or like we've had here before, somebody who just comes in to get a coffee, even on a Sunday, which we've seen. How is that affected and given back to the ROI for the Lord? And the other one is return on investment. It's getting back what you put into it and getting a little more, which is not that far from a kingdom ROI. The kingdom ROI, you're putting in something into it, but what you're getting back is significantly more, because you're seeing the growth in somebody, you're seeing, the hope that somebody can be given in what their situation is that you may not even know about. Like, I might be sitting here talking to Sergio about, like, oh my goodness, this guy on this job site, he was doing this and acting a fool. This is how I, as a Christian, used that towards him. And Sergio could be like, man, this guy was doing the same thing and I don't know him, but like, that's a good idea. So that's another part of the vertical or the horizontal of him and I for that kingdom ROI. Are you guys following along at all? I know I kind of rabbit sprint sometimes. So, what are the different kinds of steps that we need to focus here, and we do focus here at Thrive? Because I know some of y'all are in ministry, or on Go teams. What are some of the things that you guys do when you guys get ready to do something? What's the first thing that you do? Pray. There we go. It's that simple. So, for the stuff that we do here, especially for the level of attentiveness that is given to the Christmas play, the first thing we have to do is we have to pray over it. Because if you don't pray over it, you're kind of just like, this is what God wants me to do. I'm gonna do at the end of the day what you want to do. So that's not really doing God's will. That's doing yours at the end of the day. Are you okay? Do you need a blanket?
He said, "What's wrong?" And I got stung by a bee this morning, and I was like, "It hurts." Like, so sorry. You just caught like our mid.
Hashtag married life. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. I get looks from my wife too, so. And the second thing is Kingdom ROI. Okay. What is it that, Pastor Nathan has prayed over to be given a vision to do something in the Christmas play, Easter, whatever, and he's thinking and probably praying, I haven't been around him when he does it, but I have no doubt that man is not saying, Lord, how is this going to better your kingdom? How is that going to do it? So that'll be number 2. And the other thing is vision casters. So we'll get a little bit more into that later. But vision casters are something to kind of funnel so that way it disseminates to everybody, whether you're just serving in the cafe, opening the door saying, hey, welcome, all the way to Pastor Nathan, the girls in the back, Pastor Stephanie, Pastor Deb, or even you guys that are serving in kids, you guys all understand what the vision is for that specific event, whether it's Christmas, Easter, 4th of July, they brought back Dr. Pepper shakes, whatever. You always have, but you laugh, and I am a mild joker if anybody knows me, but having that vision caster and communication for project management is the most pivotal part next to prayer and knowing what's good for the Kingdom ROI. Because if you don't have communication, like me and Pastor Deb have been talking for the last few days about exactly what needs to be done for tonight. That's 3 days worth of communication for 40 minutes, if that. So, and that's why communication is so just invaluable. If you're not communicating to people, they don't know what to do. So you don't want to start up here. And how many people have been to a gateway event by chance? I know you've been. Okay. I'm going to say I took you. So gateways, and anybody that's seen a big church like that, all of their events are up here. This is where you want your events to be. And because of that, communication. You communicate with absolutely everybody. Now, there is an organization to the chaos of communication, which we'll go over a little bit later. But the communication with the vision caster, understanding how this is going to further the kingdom and how this is going to glorify God, more importantly, is probably the most pivotal thing. Because if you can't communicate that to somebody, then you're going to start up here with these big dreams and aspirations, and then you're going to end down here with maybe 3 people in the front row, and that's it. And that was number 5, was communication. So, and these are in no specific organization. I just didn't pay attention at work one day. Being a bad communicator at that point. But execution. Everybody understanding what the ultimate goal is, what the end result will be, come hell or high water, what it will be, that communication and execution, the execution is just the project's going, the event's going, the roughing is going smooth. You know where your apprentices are going. If John was here, I'd say the same thing for him. He knows where he's stuffing pipe. So the execution is the culmination of everything you've planned, everything you've talked with people about, emails, text messages, late night meetups at the church, or late nights staying at home, working, whatever it is. That is the culmination of everything that you have planned for that you are now seeing coming to fruition. Another thing that we focus on here is an organizational chart. The organizational chart just dictates you have these ministry leads. These ministry leads have these, I can really only relate to cafe. So you have Bracken at the top, okay? And then is Shauna still involved in that? Okay, so you have, I'm going to say Bracken and Shauna at the top. And then you have Sunshine, Lauren, Lisa. They're the next rung of leadership. And then you have everybody who serves on Sundays. And then you have, and that's kind of, it disseminates down from that point. So you start with the one person, so the organizational chart would be, actually, I was going to use that, but then I realized you wrote on it. Oh. Can we hand it out to him now? Yeah, we'll go over more of this later. Oh.
I'll bring it to you. Get on back over there.
Well, all right then.
I got you.
Yeah, this was.
Pause where you can tell a joke and you can practice.
Oh. This is entirely important because, thank you.
All cleaned up now.
So, this is a good example of the lack of project management. I came in earlier and was like, ooh, thank you. I don't know, I have two. I need to use that whiteboard. It'll be good because I'm an arm and hand person when I talk to people. So, what did I do? I saw it sitting there and I was like, I'm gonna use that later. I didn't. So, is there a specific one I should use? No? Okay. All right, so your organizational chart would be your leaders. This doesn't. So you have your leads, okay, for your cafe. Then you have, which is your Bracken, your, Shauna, all of them. And this even kind of goes to a tone for senior leadership here. So this would be Pastor Nathan, okay? Then it comes down, then you'd have other people. This is where you have your, Lauren, your Sunshine, your Lisa, and under them, at this point, this is where you're at on Sunday. This is, say this Sunday, this is the following Sunday, this is the Sunday after that. So when you're on that Sunday, you now have, let's see, what is it, 4 people in cafe? So you have, me, Lainey, that's a C, not an L, Lainey, Jennifer, Chad. So you have 4 people that's working in there. Okay, so now this person for the organizational chart has told these people, this is when you're serving, this is who you're serving with. This person does not need to talk to these people. That's jumping, that's ultimately, that's telling this person I don't trust you. So telling them, hey, this is who's serving, this is who you're serving with, okay? Now then this person, Lauren or Lisa, whichever you want, you now have 2 services. Now it's their responsibility to say, who's going to what service? Are you going to the 9 or 10:30? I swear I write a lot better than this. I mean, I don't, but I try. So now it's at this point for this person in that organizational chart to determine who's going where and where they need to put their manpower. So if Lisa knows, well, I want to go to 9 o'clock because, well, I just want to go to 9 o'clock and you have fun back here. Then if Lainey says, well, I'm going to 10:45 or 10:30 service, then she knows, okay, well, I know at least I have this person that can accomplish these tasks. I have this person that can accomplish, these cleanup tasks. So that small of a group, you can determine who does what. Just like all the project management that we do here, I might lean on, Sergio to, hey man, I need the lawn mowed, I need the ant stuff put down, and I need the parking lot blown out. Well, say Scott, or not Scott, but Jake is on his maintenance team. He's going to go, okay, I'm going to take my person that has the knowledge, the resources, and the ability to say, hey, Jake, can you get this done by this day at this time? And Jake's going to be like, money, dude. Got you all day. So that is a brief, terribly written organizational chart. So you would have senior leadership, Pastor Stephanie, Pastor Deb, Bracken, Shauna, and then under them, they would have, Pastor Deb would have, Sergio, me, whomever else. And then Pastor Stephanie would have, other kids under it, maybe Destiny, and I'm not 100% sure who Bracken or Shauna would have under them, but they would have pastoral care people. So Jacob, or Jake, sorry, man, that came out wrong. Yeah. I've met people that get mad about that. So that's how a quick organizational chart would work. We have something that's extremely better than my ill-equipped drawing. But, okay. So the other thing that we do here are 4 helpful lists. Whether, you good over there? All right. If you need anything, just let us know. The 4 helpful lists that we do here, that's a very specific, this is what we did right, this is what we did wrong, this is what we need to work on for the following years. So in big construction world, I guarantee you Sergio knows what that would look like. Pete would know, John would know, I know, anybody that's worked in a construction world understands what that looks like. You look at what, again, worked before for manpower for this specific building or this specific project, whether it's here at church or whatever it may be, you're going to look back on what worked, but more importantly, what also didn't work. What here it could be what pushed somebody away, or what did we miss to have somebody that wanted to walk up the aisle and accept Christ? What did we miss on that? How can we make that better? So that's another thing that we'll end up, and we're going to do the 4 helpful lists for TLS tonight, right? Okay, so we're going to do one of those tonight, so that way, going forward, not only is this the first semester of the revamped one, but now they can build on it. This is all the building blocks. And then also, more importantly, inside of each one of these steps, or every other step, you want to have, that was number 8, by the way, sorry. 4 helpful lists. 4. Oh, no, that's the year before. Number 4 is the years before, and then number 8 is like a current 4 helpful list. Right after the event, like typically it happens on Tuesday? Right after the event. So I'm sure a week from now, all the senior staff's gonna be like, man, Jeff did this, he did this, man, we got to work on that. That hand sketch, man, that ain't, whew. And then also quality checks. So what's that? Yeah, number 9 is quality checks. I'm obviously not that good of a teacher. I'm a doer. So quality checks. So what we're working towards to building into the project management template for the church are quality checks for where we're at, how things are looking. One for the budget, can the church maybe afford to spend a little bit more on whatever it may be, giving, kids a gift or whatever it may be. And then also just checking in with Pastor Nathan to see hey, are we still on track for where your heart is, or have we strayed? Because that's the last thing we want to do, is stray away from where his heart is and from where the Lord has told us, hey, these are the things you need to talk about, or these are the things that you need to do specifically for this event. You good? So yeah. But check-ins. Check-ins are one of the most, I mean, everything is, it's a circle. It is no more important than the other, but some things carry a little bit more weight to move that circle around. Did I have that on there twice? Oh, no. We can make our plans, but the Lord determines our stuff. That is even more so crucial with the church than kind of out in the secular world, because here we're not looking to be like, oh, you know, pat on the back, good job. We're looking to, how did we, again, going back to the ROI, how did that impact what is best for the Lord? What is best for what he wants, and what will glorify him? So that's another thing of the quality checks. Everything is, not to quote a movie, but it's a circle again. If you have a chink in the chain of that circle, or you have a break in it, it's going to come crashing down. And that's why project management is so important. But as far as communication goes, just communication. You aren't doing paperwork, you're just shooting emails, you're doing that. Does anybody have an idea of who that may be? Within the church. For the communication.
Who all do you have to communicate with?
Yeah.
Probably the leads of all the team, ministry leads.
So that ministry leads is number 3.
Senior staff.
Number 2. Did you look at my paper? You're cheating. Number 2 is senior staff. Number 3 is ministry leads. And then more specifically for the Christmas production is the production leads. So that's Joey Folbs, Heather Neufeld. They're the stage leads that are, they're the ones that are making sure that what we've said, okay, here's what the creative team says, this is what Pastor Nathan says. They're the ones that are executing up here on the stage, and we're just back there being like, all right, cool, you got the email, or you've got the text message. So those are the 3 that we're going to communicate, but the first one that we need to communicate is God. Because and I can't stress this enough, every project will be stressful. It will be just pull your hair out, because you can't get somebody sometimes to just come down and help set something up. You get into the weeds of, well, I'm going to do it all. Well, you can't do it all. So that's where we got to rely on God and pray over the project again to give us the endurance, give us the knowledge base, have him reveal people that are more than capable of maybe coming out and doing something. Like, I'm sure Jake can mow that lawn a lot better than I can and be a lot straighter. So things like that, just asking him to reveal people to you. But that's number 1 is God, is we just need to pray over it and just ask him for continued guidance throughout the project. And that's something I think we need to do regardless, whether it's a quick 20-minute meeting to, okay, where are we at with who are the ministry leads? We need to pray over that before we have that quick meeting, because those things, we're taking it back to him. We're getting back to the point of what is he wanting us to do? Who is he wanting us to have put into that position? And then I put down James 1:19, my dear brother and sister, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. for the church, I would say 9 times out of 10, they are here because they want to be here. They're not paid staff. They're not somebody that, well, I'm getting 20 bucks an hour out of this, so I'm here regardless. These are people that we need to embrace and speak into and just tell them thank you for their time away from their families, for, their time to go come and just have the group, what's the word I'm looking for? Fellowship with somebody. Because somebody could have had a stressful morning, and that's the fellowship that they need. So whenever we're doing a project, keep in mind that 9 times out of 10, or 9.9.9999 times out of 10, these people are here because they want to be here. They're not here because they have to be here. Unless they're your child, then feel free to go do what you do. But people, at the end of the day, when we communicate, if they say that they can't make it because, well, I got stuff going on, at the end of the day, they're all a volunteer. But the ones that do show up, make sure you love on them. Make sure that they know how much they are appreciated. Because it's not easy to do. It's easy to get in the project management mind of, we got to go, we got to get this done, we got to get that done, we got to get this done. We need to go over here and, build this. And it's easy to forget that these people are giving up their time, their family time. In some cases, I know here in Texas, their football time. So that is something that we need to keep in mind of, is people are always primarily going to be volunteers. And regardless of what level you're serving at, whether you're the senior project manager over the Christmas parade or the Christmas production, or you're just somebody there to take out the garbage at the end, you got to remember that as that project manager, you are no better than that person, and you need to be willing to take out the trash, which is, when it gets hard, it's not, oh, that's not my job. This is what I'm doing. I'm doing it because I love God. I'm doing it because I love the people that He's put here. I'm doing this to show the people that are here serving, that are doing the work, that from all the project management that we've done, they're the ones executing it. Hey, this garbage needs to go out. I want to show them that I care about it, and that's one less thing they got to worry about, because we are no better than anybody else. So with that, I'm going to say take a break. I'm quick. So, yes. Production leads. And that's more for the Christmas program. I know I jumped back and forth, and in my brain, I'm like a star. I go from one spot to another, back to another, and it is the most rabbit brain you will ever see. But what comes out of it, especially at work, is organization. So as far as all of that goes, I would say 15 minutes, 10. I don't know, I'm getting a shake. 7:05 and 33 seconds.
Okay, I need a microphone. All right, so what we want to do, sorry, I'll tone it down a little bit, okay? So what we want to do, maybe I should do this, is, so you guys, so TLS kind of got revamped this year, right? So who was in it before this year? The semester, sorry. Yeah, okay. And then, so you kind of, so you've had a taste of what it was like and what it is like. So what we want to do is, this is something we do all the time, and this is a way that we can check and see how we're doing, what we can do better. Okay, so we're going to do 4 helpful lists. We're not going to take a lot of time on it. We're going to do it fast. All right, so here's, who can tell me one rule about 4 helpful lists? Sergio? Lisa? Keep the how out, right? That's right. And the other thing is, don't get defensive, right? So don't get defensive. Because sometimes, you know, somebody will say something and I'm like, oh, but we thought about that. We decided. We don't need to get defensive. We don't need to explain what happened. All we want to do is we want to hear from everyone. We want to hear everything that everyone has to say. Then what's going to happen is Peggy and Tammy and Pastor Stephanie are going to take this information, they're going to go huddle up, and they're going to make some decisions on how they can make it better. Okay? All right. Okay. So we always start with the positive. So we're going to start with what is right with TLS. Food. All right. What else? Child care. Awesome. What else? Leadership, nice. All right, what else we got?
Variety of
Speakers, okay. All right, what else? Format. Anything specific about the format?
You only have a speaker, and then we dive into the books.
Okay, I'll put all those things down.
Worship.
Worship. All right, what else? You guys are so good at this.
Opening and closing prayers.
Yes, prayer.
The location being like in here instead of versus out there. Like,
Yes, good, okay.
it was hard to focus out there.
Okay, what else? Miss Yvette, come on, Yvette's in the house, thank you. All right. The microphones, so you can hear? So you can hear? Okay. You ain't going to sleep now. No, we're up. Huh? Time management of the class, like just effective. You don't feel like you're wasting your time? Okay, time is honored. Good. All right, what else? Open floor. Open discussion. Okay. Awesome. What else? Coffee. Jake says coffee's in the house. Breaks. Breaks are always good. What else? Spirit-led. Holy Spirit, activate, activate, activate. All right, what else? That's led. The books. You like the curriculum?
Yeah, the books are very impactful for me. I don't know about everybody else.
Okay.
The selection of books has been great.
No test. Okay. No, you have papers? No papers. Journal. That's so good. All right, you good? Run out? Okay, we can come back if we need to. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to specify what's right. Or, sorry, not right. We already did that. What's wrong, missing, or confusing. So you don't have to tell me what category. Just kind of spit it out, and I'll try and figure it out. Huh? Sharing assignment? No, say that. Okay, I'm not understanding what you're saying.
We have a sharing assignment that we have to do each week, and we do it in Learning World, but it's like easy to forget.
It's
Online discussion.
okay. Is that more confusing? Like online discussion? Okay. All right. What else? Okay. Feedback from your group table? Table feedback? Okay. What else? Nothing? And guys, this is where there is I can guarantee you that Peggy, Tammy, and Pastor Stephanie are not going to ever be offended by anything you say. They want total honesty because they cannot make it better if you don't share what you're feeling.
To piggyback on that, also lead reach out, table lead reach out.
Is that good or missing or missing? Okay. Okay. Table lead reach out. Okay. And again, it's not, these are all things we can improve. Oh, tables use your mics. Missing. Use the mics. Okay. And as nobody grabbed the mic. Okay. What else? Missing, confusing, wrong? Not gonna. Really, they're like Teflon. It just slides off. Need more time. Missing, so would be more table talk time. Okay, good. What else?
This might just be me, but I get confused reading two books at the same time.
Okay. Yes, you're allowed to say everything.
Ditto.
What you got, Jake?
It's confusing to read.
It's confusing to read?
No,
Just the read?
but no, the two books is.
Two books.
It's difficult, but it can be done. And if I can do it, I'm sure everybody else is doing it. So
Okay,
I just don't do it all the time.
all right. Your voice has been heard. We appreciate you.
Next year's gonna be
3 books. They're like, oh, just wait, just wait. Coloring books, yeah. All right, circle back around. All right, wrong, missing, confusing. People are missing?
Missing a microphone.
We don't have a mic over here, sorry. I guess I can grab that one then.
No excuses.
Poor project management? What'd you say? Oh. Oh, okay.
I got the look, don't worry.
What else you got? What else?
I would say maybe a little bit more clarity on the front end, so that way we know what to expect as far as between the first and second term part.
Like the syllabus, more clarity on the syllabus or what's expected?
Yeah, about exactly what more of what you're going to cover rather than.
Like a overview?
Yeah.
A semester overview or something like
Yeah.
that?
Being like, for instance, I don't know. What?
It's the mic and that, it's that, so pull it away from
What speaker?
I think it was me. I think it was me.
Oh. Oh. No, like the first half of the semester was more personal leadership rather than like project management, this and that. Just understanding that going into it.
Does this semester
Yes.
overview more clarity?
Yes.
Clarity.
I also
I'll finish
like
my
your
word.
cursive.
It's Debonese. Takes a special degree to read it. All right. Anything else? Anything else? The only thing that we heard so far was the online discussion was confusing on Learning World.
Unlocking the door.
Unlocking the door. It should be unlocked or not unlocked.
It shouldn't be unlocked. It should. You should be able to come and go.
Okay. So
Yeah, because I don't know why, but it's typically locked. Oh, okay.
all right. What else? What you got, Jake?
Hey, can we, is it possible to make it all electronic or all paper? Probably not. One or the other.
Like a hybrid?
Like, yeah.
So is it
That's good.
confusing doing paper and electronic? Is there some confusion around what you do? You just prefer
Just,
standard?
I guess, laziness to have to go to one or the other.
Okay.
And I'll speak into the journal work. That journal works for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as much for us as it is for you. So I hope that, like I even went back and put stickers in that you didn't have tonight to make sure you had them.
Okay. All right. How we doing? All right. Anything else? Going once? Going twice? Okay.
Nobody's commenting on the sharing assignments, or not a lot of people are. So it makes it hard for us to comment back to two people.
Okay. Hard to comment back when people aren't commenting, right?
Yes.
Comment back when people aren't posting. And so that's really just participation, right?
Yes, it is participation.
And there's just confusing with the tool? It's confusing on Learning World? Okay, so confusion. Confusion with tool. Okay, I got it. I'm doing a star here. Confusion with tool. Learning World tool. Okay? Scott, what you got?
Worship needs to be longer.
Worship. All right.
For the worship being longer, just worship in general, last week when it was Pastor Stephanie's birthday, I didn't know the words. Can we turn the subtitle thingies on, please?
Words with worship.
Yes.
Okay, that was very close to a how, but it also described the issue, so it was okay. All right, how are we doing? Good? Anything else? Wrong, missing, confusing. Okay, so now I want you, this is where leadership comes in. You guys need to take a look at all of the things that are wrong, missing, and confusing, and you need to try and identify some core issues. So you're looking for common denominators.
People.
People is a core issue?
Lack of
Lack
doing,
of people?
like myself, like lack of doing the work and, actually doing it. I think, yeah, if we all, yes, yeah, that's it. I think a lot of that could like be erased if we put in the effort a little more.
It's a good
Me
word.
especially, me.
It's a good word. Thank you for being honest. Just learning world hiccups, issues. Okay. Let me go back here.
Can I add something to the right real quick?
Sure.
The,
I'm over here.
the Fletcher girls.
Yes, the childcare Fletchers.
Like, I know we have childcare up there, but specifically the Fletcher girls. I know Brayden does not take a breath talking about them.
So good. Okay. Any other core issues? Time allotment?
That's timing for, thanks. With the worship, they want it to be longer. That's a time issue. You know, the table feedback and talking, you know, that's also that. So I think like just time allotment.
Okay. Time management, maybe?
I feel like it's management, but then again, I think y'all do so good on that. Y'all do good at hitting the bulletin points to make sure everything needs to be hit. So maybe really just kind of going, hey, if we could not skim past, but I don't know, I just feel like allotment, it makes more sense to me versus management, because y'all already do good at hitting those points, but allowing time for certain things for that more worship and table talk.
Okay. Good, good.
What you say about my mama?
All right, we good? All right. Yep, yep.
Looks like the worship was repetitive on there.
Worship. More worship. Worship, worship. I'm going to kind of put tech too, because that would be the mics and stuff like that. Cool. All right, we good? All right, good job, guys. Good job. Woohoo! Give yourselves a hand. All right. So, yeah. You got more?
Just one thing. I'm going to send to the GroupMe list because of that survey that I sent out on Learning World. We do have a few people, but if you can just, it doesn't take 30 seconds, but I sent the link on GroupMe. So if you have a moment, you can do it now, you can do it this evening. Just take 30 seconds and fill out that. It's just some really high points.
But not right now because we've got stuff to do. All right.
Can I add something?
I did. I told them that that's why we don't have to think about the how, is because we just want to hear from them, and then you and Peggy and Tammy are going to take this and then really just work it and try and solve some of the issues that are seen.
But basically, it also, we take this and we put it into SharePoint. We actually put it into our files so that as we're planning, even next semester,
Mm-hmm.
we'll try to tweak these things now, but as we plan for next semester, we look at exactly what the issues are and try to get those kinks worked out for the next one. Then we do this again halfway through the next semester. We're always trying to form it and shape it and make it better.
So what she's describing is what we're going to do next,
Can I
because we're
say
going to talk
something?
about Christmas. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. From a project management perspective, to have that many things in the right, that few things in the wrong, that few things in the missing, that few things in the confusing and core issues is phenomenal from a project management.
Very good.
So
let's
to the
give it
three of
up for
you,
your
thank
team.
you.
Woo! Yes, yes. All right. So what we're going to do, so if you guys can help me move this out the way. All right, so this is like Pastor Stephanie was saying, we do this on every event. And the reason we do it is so that when we get to the next event, we can do it better. So we said what we were going to talk about today, right, is the Christmas production. And so one of the first things we're going to do whenever we start looking at the Christmas production is we're going to look at the 4 helpful lists that we did last year. So we're going to go over that. And it is little, so get your reading glasses out. I'll take it. Okay, so because you guys now are part of the solution, right? You're part of the team for the Christmas production. So you're really wanting to hone in now. You want your brain to start thinking about, hey, how can we make this better? So whereas when we were doing it, we said we wanted to get the how out, we now want to kind of start thinking about how could we make this better? How could we improve it? So let's look at what is right, what was right last year. And so the vision caster, it was both right and confusing. The refreshments were good, having others bring cookies, having food and drink in the cafe. Decorations in and out were amazing. Great freedom message. Having TLS lead in different areas. The script was a freedom message. It being a non-traditional service, so it was like a fresh take. It's not the normal Christmas pageant that churches sometimes do. Using dual media, and I think that was talking specifically about you had live actors and you also had video, right? So it was kind of cool. The ticketing and registration process, cohesive and all ministries coming together. And just so you guys know, our 2 biggest events that we do at Thrive Community Church, anybody want to guess what they are? Let me rephrase. The ones where we really are intentional about reaching out to those that don't go to church. Christmas and Resurrection Sunday. You're right, the birthday and all that are bigger, but it's mainly an in-house celebration. Christmas and Easter are often the times where people that don't normally come to church will come to church. And so these are our big outreach. This is the part on the board outside about introducing Jesus. That's what we're trying to do at Christmas and Easter, is introduce Jesus, okay? All right, so new Go Team members serving. We were under budget. The excellence factor, the cast and crew. All right, and then you can see a note, like Pastor Stephanie was saying, we store all these in SharePoint. So we have the 4 helpful list and all the other project documentation in SharePoint so that we have it ongoing, okay? All right, so let's look at what was wrong. So what was wrong? Having the production on Christmas weekend. And I think that was just a lot of people traveling. And, you know, a lot of us have multi-family gatherings, and so it was hard to dedicate all that time to be here. Team leads needing to be at each service due to not having enough volunteers to cover. All right, so volunteers, right? We had an issue with scheduling, I think because of the weekend. Family equals captivating small kids. I'm not exactly sure what that means.
Like, do they mean like kids being in here?
Oh, you know what? That might be. We didn't have any childcare, so maybe that's what it was. All right, no caps on registration, limiting registration, which we solved. We already did that because last year we put like a cap, like they could only have X number of people, and it got very confusing. But we didn't do it this year, so. Okay, well, yes, let's talk about that. Time prep with tech arts and media was last minute. So as with a lot of things here, we find that, and this, I want to talk, everybody look. This is where honoring time commitments comes in, okay? Because if you're assigned to do, I don't know, let's say Scott is assigned to get all of the screen changes that need to be done for the entire projection, and he has a deadline of the 15th. And he blows that deadline. What's going to happen? It's going to throw everybody else off because now The tech team is behind schedule. Other teams that are depending on that are behind schedule. Maybe the programs are behind schedule. So just by not being accountable, by not doing what we said we were going to do, when we said we were going to do it, we're now really dishonoring everybody else in the production, because we're saying, hey, my situation or whatever caused this delay, and just knowing that it's really pushing everybody else out of the way too. Make sense? So it's important it's important to be accountable. All right. Timelines not being stuck to. There you go. That's our number one thing normally. More lead time, planning time. So I know Jeff and many at the church are working to give us more planning time for 2025. So it's hard, right? Because everybody is so busy, but we really need to be about 4 months in advance of every event, right? Which means we should really be looking at events that are going to happen in March right now, and we're not. We're focused on Christmas. So we get behind. We're trying to push and get forward on it. All right, let's see. What was missing? Number one issue almost all the time for all events is communication or lack thereof. Yes, and I think Jeff was saying how important it is, right, as we go through all this, to make sure that we're communicating up and down, right? So normally there's somebody we need to inform of what we're doing, and then there's people under us that we need to make sure they understand what it is that they're doing. So it's that communication stream. All right, job expectation for each role. Last year was a hot mess. Were any of you guys involved in it last year? It was huge. We had, y'all were going to be the leads, and then ministry leads were going to be the leads, and then we flopped back and forth, and so it was just a hot mess. So it's solidified right now, so we know what we're doing. So hopefully it won't be confusing. Let's see. Planning meeting with all leads for the vision. Cleanup team. So I think that is normally the team that is forgotten about, right? As we get all in the setup, we get all in the event, and then it comes time to take everything down, and Sergio and whoever's here at the church are normally the ones that are trying to take it down. So it's important. Think about cleanup. Let's see. Vision caster was great. Might be better to go over those in person with the entire team so that questions can be raised and addressed, dates can be clarified. All right? So what was expected from each team lead? So we have that. We're going to go over that in a little bit. Who was in charge of getting materials? That's important to know. Cast adults versus kids, clarity of budget, dates for cast. So there was some confusion. We were really just in charge of the non-production. So we were kind of everything outside of the sanctuary, and then the production team was in charge of everything in the sanctuary. This year, Jeff and I are doing project management for both sides, so hopefully that'll help streamline some of the communication. All right, lead time, which is always an issue, collaboration, which is just getting with each other, and then clarity on responses. So our social covenant says clarity is the next best thing to certainty. Good job. I'm so excited you guys know your social covenant. All right, next, what we're going to do. So any questions? So as you were reading that, right, you're going to start to find out like what your areas are. But that's going to be one thing. As soon as you find out, like if I find out that my area is cafe, what's the one thing I'm going to do first? Right. Well, I'm going to probably look at this 4 helpful list, and I'm going to see what was on there, what was right about cafe, and what was wrong, missing, or confusing, because I want to fix anything that was broken, and I want to make sure that I'm repeating something that was done well. Make sense? So whatever your area is, just know that's what you're going to go back to that list, and you're going to try and pick out those things that you need to fix. All right. So y'all want to help me? Yeah. Half, yes. All right, so what we're going to go over now is an org chart, because that was one of the things that was so stinking confusing last year. So we're going to go over this in detail. Okay. Oh, what's your issue? There's too much socializing. She's in the cafe. Okay. Oh, I wanted to start. Okay, so with Christmas, so we identified that Christmas is what? It's our number one time to introduce Jesus. That's right. And then last year, and I believe this year, the main message of the play is going to be freedom. Pastor Stephanie, is that correct? It's freedom-based, right? So just know this production is going to be introducing a concept that some people have never heard of before, right? They know what it might be to accept Jesus, but they don't know Jesus can take them to a beautiful place of freedom and healing. So we are really ushering people. Everything that you do, whether it is cafe, whether it's usher, whether it's parking lot, whether it's set design, is going to help usher people into the presence of Jesus. All right? Everybody excited about that? Yes, we should be excited about that. Okay. All right. So this is our org chart for this project. So let's see. Jeff and I are going to be project managers. And then you look at the next tier down. You've got ministry leads, right? You've got branding. You've got the director, who's Pastor Christian. You've got stage manager, who's Joey Foltz. And then you've got tech, production, sound, all that good stuff. So what I want you to know is you'll need to know, like I want you guys to make sure you understand who the director is, who the stage manager is, who the assistant stage manager is. Some of the other ones, it might not really direct you. It might not affect you directly, but you still need to know who it is, all right? But the ministry leads, so underneath project managers, who's the next level? The ministry leads, right? See, as far as it's related to you. I'm going down this stream. So I'm going from the top, and then these are all production positions, right? Not really our area. We're over here in this lane right here. Right? So we have the project managers, and then we have the ministry leads. So I'm going to follow that arrow down, and I'm going to look at who the ministry leads are. So I can see, so we all need to know, Kyla is our guest experience ministry lead, right? We've got Norma is our finance ministry lead. We've got pastoral care, which I believe is Jody. We've got the cafe, who is Shauna. And we've got safety, who is Michael. Those are the ministry leads that I've identified that I think are going to be participating in this event, all right? And then underneath them is where you guys fit in. This is the part that was confusing last time, right? So what this means is that you are actually reporting to the ministry lead for that area. So Daniel, who's not here tonight, so let's go to somebody else. So the decor team, the greeter team, and the usher team are all going to fall under, who are they going to go check with on their plans? Kyla, you got it. Okay, for the prayer team, so John, Chris, and Pete are going to be on the pastoral care team, or the prayer team. Who are they going to go talk to? Jody, that's right. Lisa, Courtney, and Kendall are going to go talk to? There you go. And Sergio, who's doing safety, is going to go talk to? There you go. So you guys are going to, you have free reign to be creative. You have responsibility. You have accountability. But you are always going to be checking with your ministry lead. That's right. Because they are the ones in charge. All right? They are the ones ultimately responsible for those areas. Make sense? Okay. Any confusion on where you have parameters to go? I misdid your name. I'm sorry. Oh, it is? That's a great question. I'll figure it out. I will figure out. No, Sarah's in the play. I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. I'll get it figured out. Okay, so Any other questions? Those are good. Good observation. Yes, yes, thank you. Good. Okay, so bolded means that you are the lead for the TLS group. So for the cafe, Lisa is going to be the TLS lead. Okay? Destiny, you're the greeter lead. So you have the ministry lead right here. So, but yes. Yeah, exactly. Make sense? Questions? Team lead. What was it? Oh yeah, that would have been much better. It's Thrive Leadership. That's what it means. That's what it means.
One more question. Do you know the dates of the play off the top of your head? We were just talking about
I do, and it's coming. Yes, yes. All right. Okay. Here, if you can take one down and pass it around. It's not a beer. I promise. Sorry. Okay. All right. So here we go. So this is the org chart. This is our roles and responsibilities. So this is where we're saying, hey, can you tell me exactly what it is that I do? Or, hey, what does the director do? What does the understudy do? What does the stage manager do? It's all listed right here. We don't have to guess. We don't have to remember a conversation that we had. We're just going to go through it. So let's go through. So who were the project managers?
you and Jeff.
Okay, so we are responsible for oversight of the event and project, and this includes, but is not limited to, oversight of all the leads. So that means we're going to be checking in. We're going to be checking in with the ministry leads. We're going to be checking in with the Thrive Leadership School leads. And then we also want to empower, right? You guys are empowering. Who can tell me what empowering means? Trusting us. So empowering means if Jeff and I are the project managers, right, we have authority to make decisions. We are handing that authority to you for you to make the decisions, right? We're trusting you to make the decisions. Again, you're responsible to who? The ministry lead, right? You're always going to be checking, but you have been empowered to make the decisions. Filet mignon. There you go. I like it. All right. There is always a budget in church. All right. Okay. So empower, casting vision. Does everybody understand what the vision of this event is? Who can tell me? Nutshell it. There you go. Introduce Jesus and help them. There you go. You guys got it. Vision has been cast. Huh? Oh. All right, so the other thing, we're going to provide accountability. So you're going to see you've got check-in points. And so you're saying, by being in Thrive Leadership School, I am accepting responsibility for getting done what I said I'm going to get done. And I'm saying I'm going to get it done when it needs to get done by. And so we're going to hold you accountable for that. So we're going to have regular check-ins. We're going to come and say, hey, how's it going? What do you need? How can I help you? But it's still needing to make sure that it's getting done. Everybody clear? Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
If you ask us for something and we don't get it to you, then that's another way of accountability. So I have the accountability to Jake. If he needs something and I don't give it to him, he needs to be like, hey, bud, you said you'd get it to me by this day. It's this day. Where are we at? That's when I have to own up to it.
Yep, we're responsible. And our main job is to resource you. That's our main job, organize and resource you. All right, assisting with any issues that you might have. So I can tell you there were lots of issues that we ran into last night. I know, Pete, that your electrical skills are definitely going to be needed because it was an issue last time with a converter, something with electricity, and the light bulbs wouldn't come on. So, all right. Let's see. Assisting any issues, yes. Acting as a resource, we know who to call. We're going to call Pete. Help. All right, setting milestone dates. So we've done that. That's on your documentation. And ensuring communication across ministry lanes. So one of the things that happened last year is we call it siloed communication. The production team knew exactly what they were doing, but nobody else knew. Peggy and I were doing project management. We knew what was going on out here, but they had no idea. And that's that siloed communication. So by putting us as project managers over both, we're hoping that that communication flows better. So that's our goal, okay? All right. All right. We also will communicate all of the things that you bring us. We will communicate it up to senior staff, all right? And we'll have the, what'd you call them, quality control checks, making sure we're in line with Pastor Nathan's vision all along the way, okay? And managing the budget. We're always going to have a budget. We're always going to, and the thing is really not having a big budget allows you to be more creative. It's letting the Holy Spirit talk to you in a more creative way and bring you some solutions. Yes. It does sound great in theory. Okay, so let's lead. Okay, so we've got ministry leads. I'm going to go, so I'm on the second page. All the yellow means is I'm still waiting on a role description from Pastor Christian. So as soon as I get those, I'll give them to you. All right, so let's jump down to ministry leads. Ministry lead, and this would be who? Who are our ministry leads? Kyla, Norma, Jody, Shauna, and Michael. Did I spell Michael wrong? I did. I'm sorry. All right. Michael. All right. Okay, ministry leads. They are oversight of the ministry team, working with the ministry team members, using the project vision, creatively developing the ministry's vision for the event. So this might be where Kyla says, hey, we know that the whole thing is introducing Jesus and finding freedom. So maybe in her area, they come up with something really creative and fun as far as how the greeters, the lobby, the parking team, the ushers can convey that. So just know there's lots of open opportunities for creativity and for the Holy Spirit to speak and give you guys ideas, okay? Dance in the door. You have been empowered. All right, let's see. Oversee all aspects, still on ministry lead. Oversee all aspects of planning, resource. These are important. Anytime you guys see commas, know that each one of these are really a to-do list, okay? So you've got planning, so that means you need to kind of plan out what it is your ministry is going to do. Resource gathering is figuring out where are you going to get your items from. Do you need to buy them? Do you need to go to storage? Do you need to borrow them? Identifying the budget needs, right? We've tried to find 15 gold ice trays, and we can't, so we're going to have to go to a dollar store, and this is how much they're going to cost. Team building and coordination. So what does that equate to? Team building and coordination. For Kyla, with the greeters that Destiny's going to do, what are you going to be coordinating with that statement? Team building and coordination, specifically for greeters, like if you're over greeters. Scheduling and training, right? Making sure like, hey, what are you going to wear? How are we going to do it? Are we going to dance them in? Are we going to, what are we going to do? Right? You're determining all that. Determining schedules and deadlines. So part of this might be, hey, you're saying I'm putting a list out. I would like everybody to volunteer, but I need your days that you can serve by this date, right? Defining activities and assignments before. So if you guys know, so like the cafe, one of the things they did last year is they had people bring in cookies, I think, right? So they had to have a schedule, right? They had to have some kind of communication that said, this is when we need it by, this is when you need to drop it off. And then we have to have a team to put them on nice little platters and put them out on tables. So just think you're really taking this. So everything that you learned from Jeff earlier is what you're putting in place now, because you're really making a little mini project plan for your area. You're thinking about it in detail. What do I have to do to make this successful? What do I have to do to communicate it down to my team? And I know Courtney is all ready for the cafe. She's getting ready. I know. She's so good. You're going to be all right. All right, let's see. All right, and then defining the activities and assignments before, during, and after the event or project. What is the one area we always overlook and don't specify? Cleanup, right, so make sure you get the cleanup. Okay, and then this is done while ensuring timelines, project milestones are met. So that's the ministry lead. That's what Kyla is overseeing. So even though you might be doing the greeters, Kyla's got a big responsibility area in making sure that you're doing all of this. Does that make sense? That you're getting all this done. And if you need resourcing, you're going to go to her, right? But if Kyla says, hey, we need money, we got a budget, we got to print all these things, we don't know, she's going to come to, yes, me and Jeff. All right, good. All right, so let's look at team lead right above it. This is what you guys are going to do. Da-da-da. Are you excited? I can tell. I can feel the excitement in the room. I know. Well, we're going to call Xerox and get that figured out. Okay, so for the team lead, we've got oversight of lead area. You're acting as a resource, right? So get it, resource between the ministry lead and the project manager. You're going to assist as needed with discovery. Again, we got commas, right? So start thinking of this as a list. Discovery, creating, support, and training in all areas of event planning and implementation. In a nutshell, you guys are coming in as a big support lead for them, right? So instead of this being on top of everything else that the ministry leads have to do, and now we throw this huge event, you're now saying, hey, I'm coming under you. How can I assist? Like, I've got some ideas. You want to talk about it? How can I help you do these things? So you're really coming in as a leader, a trained leader, coming in to help these ministry leads with a really big event. All right? Okay, so you're going to attend project meetings, ensure all deadlines are met within your area, communicate with team members and the project manager. So Jeff will be here every week. I'll be here when needed. All right, any questions? Yes. For Daniel, for the parking? Usher's main thing that they have to do is ask people to scoot in. Yeah, and know that the times are closer together. So last year we had one performance, huge break, and another performance. This year it's a little bit tighter. I don't think we'll have the crossover in the parking lot. I think we'll still have enough time, but it's going to be tighter than it was. But yes, so that's part of, you might only have one person on your team, right? But Jake, that would mean like, hey, let's talk and let's see who else could help during the performances, right? And knowing that we have 3 performances, right? So we need to make sure we have volunteers for each one. Make sense? Okay. Anything else? Clear as mud? All right. Yeah, I'm getting to the date. I'm getting to the date. Yes, you can hand those out to everybody. Okay, so what we are handed out to. Okay, so like Daniel, he's the only one on there, so that would be his copy. Okay, so let me explain these. He's handing them out. The vision casters are by area. And what we want to do is, one of the things on the 4 helpful list was that we tried to discuss this as a group and it didn't work. All right? So we're going to come around, and what I'd like for you guys to do, if you're with other people, so like the decorating crew can get with Tammy back there, and y'all can start, we can have a discussion with you, but you can also start brainstorming. This is what your lab time is going to be about, is really just making sure that you understand what this is, and then start thinking about it. Start getting brainstorming and get creative, all that good stuff. So to go over the dates at the very tippy top of your vision caster, it says December 21st at 3:30 and 6 p.m.
Are there more of those papers?
Yes, they're coming. Oh, oh, not the leads. Give them to the people. So the,
I have Kendall and Courtney, so Kendall's not here.
okay, Courtney.
Got to go to Courtney.
What team is she on? Well, I don't think she's going to be greeting. No, but she can help us plan. You don't have to greet. You.
Does this mean these are the only people greeting?
No, that means these are the only people from this group to help you.
Got it.
You still grab whoever else you need for greeting. Okay, so let's go over a couple of things as a group, and then the rest of it we're going to go over individually. All right, so we've got the dates are December 21st at the very tippy top. It says Stranded Christmas Production. The dates are December 21st, 3:30 and 6 p.m. And then on the 22nd, which is Sunday, it's one service only, 10 a.m. In place in the normal service. That's right. Okay, the other thing that I want to go down and discuss with you is this section right here where it says project due dates. Project due dates. Everybody with me? Everybody's project due dates are the same for the most part. So, today is what? October 22nd. Okay. All right. So, I don't know. I already see a error. So, I don't know what that initial project plan is actually due. That should say 10. Everybody get a pen in 10/29 because it should be next Tuesday. 10/20, this date right here, where it says 11/29. I know you do. I know you do. It's next Tuesday. So this is your preliminary project plan, right? So you're thinking about what you're going to do, some of the tasks and you don't have to have it all lined out. You're just starting to think about it, right? So maybe you're thinking about, I need to assign greeters. I need to make programs. I need to get a cookie sign-up list. I need to get yellow vest for the parking lot. And Pete's going to get all things electrical to make all the lights work this year. I know. All right. Okay, so that's next week. So you'll have lab time tonight. Start brainstorming it. Get together, maybe get a phone call like one afternoon or something and start talking about it and getting some plans together. All right, you need to bring that. You can sketch it out however you want. Jeff and I are very good at reading. If you want to write it out on a Big Chief tablet, you can do it. I've had other people that go all like really nice and get it on a computer like printout. So whatever you want to do, we just need to know what your initial game plan is, right? The next date on here is what? Right, budgets, 11/5. So this is where you need to be thinking about what is it that I need, right? So one caveat I want to say is if you're thinking we might need something from storage, do you want them to ask you? Yes. Oh, well, they could always participate in that, and then they'd know what was in storage. Okay, so on November 2nd, we are having an Organize Our Crazy Storage Unit party. And we're going to have, I don't know what we're going to have, coffee and pizza. And we have 3 units. Tiny one's empty. We got one to put stuff in. So November 2nd, write it down, come help with storage clean out. That'll let you know what is in storage, because I think we have enough lights to light up the whole city, we just don't know where they are. Okay, on 11.5, we need to know what your budget needs are. So, like one of the things that we have on the outdoor decorations is that we need the marquee letters built that say stranded. So we know we've got some letters over in storage, but we know we're gonna have to make new letters. We're gonna have to do more lights with the converter craziness, so all that. All right, so just know that we need whatever that budget is. So how many ever sheets of plywood, wiring, converters, whatever it is that we need. All right, and then on November 19th, that's when your finalized budget plans or your finalized project plans are due. So at this point, you've brainstormed, you've thought about it, you've thought about your team, you've gotten creative, you've had discussions, you've submitted a budget, you've heard back, either your budget was approved or adjusted, and now you're running with that, right? And then you're gonna make it work. And then on 12/3, we have a project update. So at this point, just think each milestone we get to, you should say, oh, I've got this much completed. I've got my team in place. I've got all the project plans in place. I've got all this done. So the closer we move, every date that we have where you're checking in, that's what we need to know, right? How are you doing? Are you getting everything done? Are you at risk of not getting something done? Are you having an issue? Those are the kind of things we need to know, okay? And then on the December 10th, which I believe is a Tuesday night, we're gonna do an event walkthrough. And that's where it's all together. It's tech, it's production, it's us, and we're walking through and we're making sure we've got everything covered, that we haven't forgotten anything, okay? So we'll take you through that, but you need to be here on the 10th. And then we have the production itself is on the 21st and 22nd.
Like, how long will that walk through? Is that like, because TLS is at night, so.
Not, no, we were trying to do it on TLS night so they didn't have to come in.
Okay, yeah, and that's what I'm asking. How long, I'll need to know how long you'll need.
30 minutes maybe. I don't think it'll take, I hope. That, yeah. Is that StratOps night?
Yeah, I had to do some adjusting.
Oh, I can adjust. What is it? Okay. So what I'd like for you guys to do is get with the other people on your list. If you're by yourself on your list, get with other people that are by themselves, and y'all can kind of brainstorm together. And then Jeff and I are going to come and talk to each group and make sure you understand your vision caster, okay? Any questions? Okay, good job.
Just a heads up, about 5 more minutes, unless y'all want to stay late. I mean, if you need to, but. Could I get everybody's attention just for 2 minutes, and we'll wrap up? I put at everybody's place, Scott, I put one of those on your place too. I tried to keep them with your stuff, but I put the curriculum for Part B. So Part B, the semesters are broken into Part A for 8 weeks and Part B for 8 weeks. This is the curriculum for Part B. To Jeff's comment about more detail, there's actually more detail in this. So I may have already addressed some of that. You will all need to register for Part B on Learning World. And if you haven't, we'll do a check-in next week. I think it's set at like $0.01 because there was always a confusion every semester. Do I have to pay again? No, it's part of the fee. But I'll share some of this on, I was going to say on LinkedIn. Where's my mind? On GroupMe. No, I'm not looking for a job. No, I do not want yours. There is no additional book, so it's still The Power of Humility continues. But we do have some interesting topics and some additional speakers coming up this Part B. And be thinking of people that you might recruit to come into TLS come January when we go into our next semester. We may do a, what does Stephanie call it? A sneak peek. Yeah.
Kind of a teaser night, where they can come in and
Kind of see what it's like.
Like what TLS is, what it's about.
Yep. Yes. Yes. The TLS experience.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, there you go. TLS open house. Okay, y'all do your projects and we can hang them on the wall.
Make sure you hang up your artwork.
I was going to say something else about that, and I can't remember. Inviting people. Oh, I remember what it was. So, yeah, think about people. Also, keep in mind how this semester is impacting you. And because when we close the semester, the last night of the semester is always testimonies and just really sharing the impact that it's made. And so I just want to give you kind of a heads up on that. And that will close on the 17th of December. I know that because that's my birthday. Yeah, it's my 40th. It's not really. Oh, happy birthday early. All right. Well, who would like to close us in prayer? Anybody? Go for it.
Heavenly Father, I just want to thank you for this time to come together and the time to be able to just be with everybody here and as we grow and learn and become better leaders for you. And Lord, I just want to pray over everybody that we all have continuing good weeks and you just give us safety as we go home. In your most holy and precious name, amen. And I'm going to hit you all up the day before or two in GroupMe to remind you about dates. So, and feel free to collaborate between everybody.
Let everybody know we're doing table setup for the Daniel's wedding.
We got tables set up. Wicca.
Thursday after work.
On Thursday after work?
Thursday after work, we need to get the table set up for the wedding. And then Friday night after the wedding, we need to get all the tables put up.
On Thursday, we have to put up 16 tables after work. Feel free to bring your kids.
And Friday after the wedding.
And then Friday, after the wedding, put away. I see Destiny volunteering.